are back for round number 4.
Yes.
Um, this match is a little strange because we will see a not 60 card deck
Yes.
with Yorion. No, Yorion is banned, but that is very strange. Probably Yorion take in mind of the people the possibility to play more than 60 cards with not disadvantage. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I
It's
think,
possible to play without Yorion and with more than 60 cards.
Yeah, I think it's probably correct to play something a little bit more than 60, so 70 something, because your mana base is better. Nowadays with triumphs and fetches, it's better to have consistency on colors, and since some decks doesn't really care about one specific card, like when you play Murktide, you really need to hit Murktide or Ragavan,
Counters, but yeah.
while some decks are just a super of things that draws cards, etc. So having some more cards is better if you really want to put all the important lands in your deck. And of course, we are talking about elementals. Deck that features Teresa Reef, Fables, Abundant Growth. So
This thing is so strange because I remember in the past when I was very young, that there were some player with 16 cards in vintage. We were talking about their like, oh, you are not a good player. You play that only for lucky, because the better thing is to play a slightly deck with 60 cards because you need consistencies. But Magic's changed a lot, and there are a lot of cards that make advantage. Also, there are more redundancy than in the past. So it's a very interesting thing to play more cards without a real advantage, like your companion or something like that. But
I mean,
we are in the match.
I think playing more than 60 is a consistency thing, because you can play more lands, like you can play two possessions that also fits as counts as a spell. So I really like this approach. Also, we're watching Rodrigo Togores, that's one of the players to watch in this 4 season. He's already won one event in the past, played it multiple times.
It's one of the best players in the room for sure.
He is for sure like he knows what he's doing. He's not submitting a pile of cards.
Okay, Balestrero plays Zoo. Zoo is a deck of the flavor of the past. I remember it in Extend or in Legacy, when Tribal Flames was a card. Here in Modern, there is something like a new life for the deck. Do you think it's a good deck, it's a bad deck, it's a tired deck, or something?
I mean, I watched recently a Karsarp tweet. It's a very strong player, of course. He played Zoo in the Mox, and he said, like, I followed a prelim with Zoo, I won 4 die rolls. So I think it's a strong deck for sure. Like, there is something, but you have to be lucky to be on the play. You have to be you have to draw the perfect mana base, etc. So I don't really trust the deck for my personal vision, but I think, of course, it's also a very cool deck to play. So
Yeah, it's an aggro deck.
Yes.
With what is that?
it's a niche of a brawler. So it's a question mark free, where question mark is the number, like your domain. So right now it's a 5-3.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yes.
It's a lot
and
of.
it also has trample.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yes.
It's a lot of pressure, better than Tarmogai for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing is, of course, it has 2 lightning bolt, and as we mentioned before, it's a relevant argument in this current modern where when everyone has removals for Ragavan. So
Yeah. Also, Balestrero play Ragavan for sure, but here you want to make a lot of threats. So you try to revamp your threats when your opponent play a removal, but it's strange to play a deck with only creature as a plan.
Yes, but
in this format.
I think he's playing also some protection spells.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure he has a playset of Stubborn Denial.
Okay.
Okay. And since all your creatures are bigger than 4 in power, it's always like a negate, basically.
Yeah.
And he's playing also, I guess, a playset of Leyline Binding because it's
Okay.
1 mana.
Remove Oblivion Ring.
Yeah.
The only problem is maybe Solitude. You
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
really handle about that.
It's not the only problem, but yes.
And Giganta, do you think is here only because it's free?
Yes, and also it's a plan versus Blood Moon. Since you play a 5-color mana base, playing
You don't have basic land.
maybe you have one or two, maybe a forest or a plains, but mostly like you need to start with a Triumph, follow up with a dual. So having Giganta means when you are under Blood Moon, you can slam this threat, and it provides the 5-color for the next turn, so you can then play like a Leyline Binding as
So
Moon.
Solitude, Beach in Ephemerate. Very interesting.
It's probably the only white card in Rodrigo's hand at the moment.
Okay, so Solitude resolve, and now Vren is not ready but near to be ready to ultimate.
Yes. And also we know.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
This is not a great turn for Balistriero.
Yes.
Oh, Eldamari called maybe for Omnat. Now you can stop her here for free. Oh no.
You can summon for 1, but
your opponent
can just pay. Sure. Now I guess Rodrigo can just grab an Omnat or a Elesh Norn.
Okay.
Elesh Norn is particularly strong because one of the few ways Balistriero can deal with that run is Leyline Binding.
So if you play Elesh Norn, Leyline Binding.
Yeah, it's unkillable. And I think Togores was particularly aggressive with that Solitude pitch because Balistriero, like Togores being at 10 means he's dead to double Tribal Flames.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That's a card you have to
dodge.
Yeah.
You have
play
to
around.
to have fear about that.
Yes. But now.
If Omnat resolve, probably is the end.
Yeah.
Okay. So in response to the ability, probably binding the Omnat.
Yes, but binding, as I mentioned before, in the 71 cards deck, there is room for both issues, so it's not like playing a Swords of Closure. It's more likely a timely thing. Sure, but for this reason, I would have probably just taken Elesh Norn.
Okay.
Also because we see 2 Furies.
Yeah.
So Elesh Norn this turn means it can block big creatures and then
Double Fury.
yeah. And also it doesn't die, like it's unkillable.
Yeah. Do you think Elemental is favorable in that matchup?
I think so, yes. Because unless something strange happens, you always have the full grip of playing
You
like
put
control.
Because you want to put the match in late game and where you have a lot of powerful spell and your opponent doesn't have nothing.
Yes. And also like
well, this is bolt for prevent the final. It's not a. Yeah, I mean it's the only move you can do here, but it means something.
Yeah.
If I'm the elemental player here with that move, I just feeling the fact that the match is over or something like that.
I'm pretty sure Rodrigo's pretty happy about these things. By the way, we see a Fable of the Mirror Breaker in Rodrigo's hand, and he told me he doesn't like Risen Reef. Personally, he's playing one, but he's playing a free Fable of the Mirror Breaker. This card was overlooked at first, but now it's a house in every format. Like I'm playtesting Standard for Naples, and like every deck it starts with for Fable of the Mirror Breaker, whatever you're playing.
Yeah, this card is so strong.
Okay, so I'm gonna give them a token, better token. Is that okay?
Yeah, I like the Rodrigo personal
Yeah.
token.
We can just try to
Okay. Okay.
so it's easier for coverage.
Wow, Giganta here. It's no, that's okay. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, the Rodrigo token was
Yeah, Rodrigo gifted me that token 2 or 3 4 season ago. It was a pleasure to have it. I love that part of Magic, the interaction with it, that's stylish things. So it's another turn for Omnat here that probably take the game over.
I mean, this game is over.
Yeah.
Like, when Balestrero drew Giganta
Yeah.
without presenting anything, the game was over.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like this deck, because sometimes you just
Just
yes.
about yourself.
you have to draw like
Good.
yes, and a ton of creatures. Like
Okay.
versus an interactive deck, 2 are not enough sometimes.
Yeah.
And you play Stubborn, but
Yeah,
sometimes
also
they play
probably you
Soil.
want to make only 3 land drop or something
Yes.
like that. Not 4.
Not 6 for sure.
Yeah.
But you have no way to prevent that.
Yeah, because you don't have cantrip
Yes.
card selection.
And also another thing is your mulligan rate is impressive, because of course you need 2 specific land to start. So
Yeah, I mean, his mana base remember me something like Suicide Shadow. You remember
Yes.
the deck list with 4 color, but you don't have that power of threats, that impressive starts. So I don't like probably that type of deck. I'm a blue player, so
Yeah, makes sense.
I love to play with aggro stylish deck, but I need some cantrip. Maybe only a bad Serum Vision, but I need something to prevent my fold, or maybe to try to prevent something like that. So Elemental won the first game,
yeah,
and they probably side. I mean, you can side Magus of the Moon. That is a very good card here.
yes. I'm not sure. Since I'm pretty sure Balestrero will keep in bolts.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. It's a card for sure. I'm interested in Deputy, as well as Boseijus, since Boseiju can kill the Scion of Draco
And the line bind.
and the Leyland Binding. Yes, and then I just brought in Giant Killer. That is a free mana removal spell,
Yeah.
and maybe a couple of Wear and Tear, and one explosives. And I guess we can cut. I don't know, like this deck seems,
Seems,
built to crack aggro decks. So
Maybe the Rise and
Rise and Reef,
Reef.
Ephemerate, a couple of calls. Yeah, so the redundant card.
Yeah.
You can even cut Fable. Fable is probably too slow to match up.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, like, if I want to cut Elesh Norn, maybe one is fine to cut.
Maybe you can cut one lens, like Cavern of
Yeah,
Souls.
you can even cut a Cavern of Souls if you're boarding into Boseijus anyway, yes.
And in the sideboard, in the Balestrero, you want maybe
It doesn't have much, to be honest.
no, nothing.
Maybe a couple of Furies to deal with Planeswalkers and
Yeah.
better stuff. But yeah, I
Pro-
think
probably you want to be aggressive.
yes.
Your only way to win probably against Elemental is to go under him.
Yeah.
You want to win in the first 3 turn, 4 turn maximum,
Yeah.
kill them very fast.
I agree. For this plan, maybe Lavinia is stronger because it prevents
The elemental.
the elementals.
Yeah, probably can put
A
Lavinia.
couple of Lavinias.
Yeah,
yes.
because with Lavinia you can go very fast and not have fear about solitude.
Yes, or Fury.
But there is a problem in doing that. Lavinia it's not a great threat. It's a
it's 2-2.
yeah, it's a grizzly bear. So you have to spend your own turn to make a 2-2. That's not that great.
I mean,
Probably
of
if you
course.
start with Ragavan, it's reasonable because you can use the treasure of Ragavan to make Lavinia and probably put another threat in play.
Yes, I think this matchup, of course, is
It's
better.
very hard for Zoo.
Yeah, also Rodrigo is a good player and he was on the play. Winning this die roll really changed
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
And I guess yes, double
Oh,
position.
double Buseju. Not that great, but the rest of the hand was great because he has Fury, Ren, Risen Reef, but you have to mull because if you skip your land drop of miss the land drop at first, probably you have the possibility to lose. So
Yes.
you want to have a good established and prevent the first 2-3 turn of the zoo deck, and then you can just go for the top deck because your top deck are very very good again compared to the 5 colors top
Yes.
deck.
Yes, I think that end with a fetch instead of a Boseichu
Was a keep.
was a keeper. It's
Yeah.
very strong. You have Fury, you have Ren.
Okay. Oh yeah. This end probably is a no. It's a mall because it's only
one
one
land.
land. Yeah, probably it's a mall. Again.
Yeah, I would mull. I would snap mull, whatever. I think you are advantage in this match, so
Probably we will see. Mall to 5 it's not that easy because
I mean maybe you can keep, but like if you want to keep this, he still needs a land.
Yeah.
You can start with Giant Killer.
it's hard because if you miss the land drop at first, probably you go very very low on the percentage of win here. Balistrero keep at 6.
But I think as you seen before,
Okay.
I'm not super sad of going
Okay,
down to
this end seems very good because you have a cantrip for make your land drop pentacolor. Then you have a fast removal to Ragavan.
Wow, I'm reading to pass. Okay, sure. So yeah. Like, you can just take two.
And revive all the mulligan here with a cantrip. So you are in the same situation now. Each player are at mull of 6. So maybe Balestriero here play a dash to Ragavan.
Yeah, maybe.
Or
Just that's
four, but
Yeah,
I mean it's not that great because
Then
now
you can
you
just
can
kill it and,
and take no damage.
Yeah, we call this Tiro Piccione.
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
you just bolt whatever.
Yeah, it's
Bolt,
like that
anything.
because you. This is the game plan of Togores. Trade each threat 1 for 1 and then take advantage with big drops. Okay. Another draw. Third land drop. It's okay. Oh yeah, this is so bad because now Rodrigo can
Can just
play
play
Ren
Ren
and the Triumph and you want to keep it up That is strange. He has wear and tear in hand.
Yeah, maybe
Boseju.
I don't know. Maybe fears an endurance. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would have just probably played the.
Probably.
Maybe it doesn't like it probably is bad. It's okay how we played, because
What is the fear here? Endurance.
maybe a spell pierce effect on the brand. So you can now play Vren protected with um,
With wear and tear.
no without
Vren and- Oh.
what's called like I guess like it, yeah.
Probably you
Stubborn
want-
denial. They won't
Yeah.
be there on that.
Yeah, probably.
That's a card that was missing.
Okay. Probably
Yeah.
you don't want to play Vren under
Under
stubborn.
counter spell, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, this game goes in the direction of elemental because he doesn't keep any land drop, so you take your mana base rock and then you can just slam in the threats. You has a lot of life here. Balestrero did nothing. Take another game Giganta in hand.
I'm curious what his hand looks like because he has like five cards now.
Yeah.
He's not representing anything. Maybe he has like Leyline Binding, but
Yeah.
we know Rodrigo
Vren
has
here. Play glass. Take the land. Play the land. Pass. Okay. Now binding the Vren. It's okay. At the end you can wear tier the binding.
yeah, or just position it.
Yeah.
Maybe position is better because you can get it back with Vren.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
And,
makes sense. And also Balestrero has a lot of lands, so
Yeah. No, because
it's 5 Giganta.
Gigant, but now Togores can.
Binding.
I'm not sure I like this play. I think maybe
You can Fury and minus the
Yes.
Vren.
I like that plan a bit more, but I mean it's okay. You know, you can play exactly how you want at this point.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, maybe Togore want to keep the Fury to kill more threats for a multiple turn, but it doesn't change.
I mean, I like to put another threat on the battlefield
And finish the game faster.
yes, or ask Valkyrie to cast one of his probably removal spell because I'm pretty sure his hand is locked with tribal flames or bolts, something like that. Just waiting for.
Okay, Boseju here. Balestrero will find another lance.
Yeah,
Maybe another
the
Triumph.
last Triumph.
Yeah.
Get a Triumph. Just a planes. Okay.
What do you think about Triumph for modern? It's a good upgrade.
That's an interesting question. I think, yeah, I mean, since fetchlands are already the strongest cards in the format,
Yeah.
I think making more decks playable is always a good thing.
Do you think the format is good in the right spot or?
Yeah, I think so. Like when the best deck is a deck with counter spells and lightning bolts, I think we are fine.
Also Twin it was that type of deck.
Okay.
Yeah, I love the pass smaller with Twin. I'm a fan of that deck for sure. I really, when Twin was banned,
You cried.
yeah, a lot. This is for sure. But after that, I realized that the advertisement that they made about Twin, the fact that it stopped at turn of magic, was correct, and I accept. So not really, but I accept that but maybe now the format is very changed. I don't think Twin is a good card. It's a fantastic card anymore.
No, I think the card itself is not great, or the deck that. But I don't like the interaction that it creates.
Yeah.
Where you always have to be on check, and the games are more like who shoot first, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, this is the problem for sure. Do you think any card can be unbanned? Could be unbanned?
Yeah, a lot of them. But I think some cards are on the ban is because they create toxic or unfun games.
Uh-huh.
And not because they are strong. Like
No, no.
some cards like School Clamp or Cantrips, yeah, they're super strong. But other cards like Umezawa's Jit, etc., they're more toxic than strong.
Yeah, and this is the thing that I realized in the past year, talking a lot about Legacy. The thing about banned card is that sometimes banned cards are not so powerful to not be unbanned. It could be reasonable to unban them, but why unban a card that doesn't give nothing to the format?
Yes, exactly.
If a card is unbanned and gives nothing to the format, or only unfun things like, for example,
Field of the Dead.
or Mind Twist in Legacy, why you want that? The card is itself not so strong, but that doesn't create anything better for the format.
Yeah,
so it's not reasonable to unban the type of card for me.
Yeah, I agree. But some cards, you can unban it and it's fine.
Yeah, there are some.
Bridge from Below, Hypergenesis, but it's fine. Like I think if we all focus on building new decks rather than complaining, it's probably better.
Do you think we could unban something like Moxopal or not? Maybe not.
Moxopal is, I think, too strong.
Too strong.
Like in Hammer Time, you
Yeah.
can do it with Saga.
Yeah. It's maybe something more, a little too strong for modern right now. Okay, another Lance, and I think the game is over now. Yeah, the game was over a lot of turn before, but now with Omnat in board, you stick a land, go to 18 again. Okay, so Togores won that match pretty easily.
Yeah.
I think, you talk about that. The matchup is favorable to him. So I think it's not interesting to see that match because it was so polarized. But it was interesting to see the powerful redundancy of Elemental with 71 card. That was interesting. And also Eleshnorn, it's a good card from Pyrexia that come to that deck. So I will try to ask to Boris to interview.
Yeah, of course.
Do you like to interview
Yeah, of
him?
course, yes.
Okay. You can just talk about our spectacular sponsor.
Yes, so the sponsor of the stream and the 4Seasons is this 9-bit energy. It's an energy drink. It's made with a chemical formula that's very good if you are willing to do well in esports. And I like the flavor is strawberry and it's very sweet, but it contains zero sugar, so it's also easy to drink. And it's I like it. So I suggest you for your team and your events. So now I played myself the elemental decks. I'm still playing 80 cards, something like that. And I have my take. Like I play one Kahira in the sideboard that I reveal only between game 2 and game 3 because I play Eleshnorn main deck. But since I think Eleshnorn is only good in certain matchups. I prefer to, like, when I board it out, like versus blue red, versus hammer, and versus rhinos, Ashnor does nothing, so you board it out. And you reveal Kahira, so you have a white pitch for Solitude and sometimes a green pitch for Figure. And I still like 80 cards. I think you have redundancy in spells, you have Eladamri's Call to tutor what you need. You have Soul the Pitch Elementals, you can play a playset of Solitude as well as 2 Furies. You can play 8 removal spells. So we have Rodrigo here.
Hello everyone.
Okay, so welcome. How are you feeling with your deck?
Good. It's big. You have all the good cards.
Yeah.
So
So why you decided to play this deck over all the decks you play and in the stream?
I was thinking of playing this deck or Tron, but the problem is I expected some amount of hammer. And Tron is very bad against hammer.
Yeah.
So and this deck is just play good cards, play. And also, you get to leverage how you play more or less, because sometimes you have just to play things on curve and see what happens. But I think this deck is good. You play all the strong cards in modern. So
Yeah.
if every card in your deck says draw a card, nothing can go wrong.
Yeah. So we were talking about 71. How did you came up with this number? I know you played the 8 in the past. We were already talking private about this.
So last week, for example, in a tournament I played 61. But I felt that, for example, I had the second Elish Norn in the sideboard, so with playing more cards I can move it in the main deck and have one extra slot in the sideboard. And also I can fit, your mana base is better. And also you can fit more Abundant Growth, to just the 4th Abundant Growth, because I think I have never lost against Blue Moon.
Yeah.
Because just Abundant Growth and late building and whatever. Also, you can fit more cards like more Eladamri's, more removal, so you can end up playing for binding, for ending, bolts, and all the others. And our testing was like we have to go from 24 lands to 27, and the premise 27 is a bit much. It's probably you need 26 and a half land, and so I just added another card into it, so you play your ratio of spells and that is a bit better. So once you go over 60, it doesn't matter. So I think the deck is stronger. The only thing that hurts you is that you draw less of Renaissance, and that's your best card in the deck. The other things doesn't matter because most of our creatures you just play more Eladamri, so you can search for them. You play more removals. The only card that you cannot exchange is Renaissance. That's busted.
Yeah, we know in Legacy they play.
They show the modern.
Yeah, maybe. Do you think any other cards should be banned in modern? What's your friend?
Ren, Ragavan.
Ragavan, really?
Stupid card. If you don't kill it, you lose the game a lot of
But
times.
you kill it every time.
Not always.
Not because you bomb brands. Yeah, that's why.
The problem is Ragavan on the play gives you so much of an advantage on turn 2 if it survives.
Yeah, of course.
If it doesn't survive, okay, you just trade it 1 for 1 to play Magic. But if it survives, you have 3 mana turn 2. Your opponent, you can steal a card. That's obviously always very good, and you can. And it also forces you into that the card is so strong that you can never tap out of instant speed removal, because Dash and Ragavan can just. So for example, you are playing Living End or Rhinos, and you tap out and you play Teferi. You cannot, and steal your Teferi, you lose the game. I don't like it. I just don't like the breach card. It's just
Underworld Breach?
Yeah, it's so strong.
Okay.
So sometimes it's just there is the fair breach deck that you play a 8 turns game, and then you play breach and draw 6 with bubble, or just 4 times balls used like Yawmoth Will and Vintage. don't like that. And Bubble is also damage. Bubble the Teferi is also cards I don't like.
Okay, I would have banned personally both Urza Saga and Violent Outburst. I think they create a bad environment in the game.
Ursa Saga is a bad card, but the problem is with Ursa Saga, I think if Ursa Saga is too good, it's very easy to hate out, and if you hate it out, the card loses a lot of power because if people play Spreading Seas, the tempo loss and the advantage loss is so high, like at the start of Modern Horizons when everyone was playing Spreading Seas to just kill Ursa Saga, the tempo you lose, and then the problem is that cards like Alpine Moon, that you played yesterday for example, your opponents, you just always trade 1-for-1 with the saga, and then all the next sagas are just countered by your 1 mana spell. So if saga is too good, it's very easy to hide out, and if you hate it out, it's very the saga player gets a lot of damage.
Okay,
because
I see.
all your answers are very efficient and very obviously saga is very strong, but.
Okay, so talking about the deck a bit, I want to ask you a question because I remember back in days with Yorion, like there was an argument about the Ladambri's Call being a demonic tutor rather it's just another card. What do you think?
I think Ladambri's card is a fine card. I don't like it that much because it's too mana intensive, but it gives you a lot of cards from the deck. So it just makes that your Solitudes, your Furies, your Risen Reef, your Omnath are more of them, and then it gives you the toolbox in the sideboard.
Yes.
And the Giant Killer, the Mage, I play for Kablan, the Booty of Detention, that's for Reno. So you have this Silver Bullet, and that's usually very strong in a control deck to just having to play one card to deal with anything.
Okay, yeah. So I want to ask you another thing in game. If you remember, you cast an Eladamrit game 1 to get an Omnath. Why didn't you get the Lich Norn to stop Lelen binding?
I think the Omnath, so Elish Norn, it's okay, but it doesn't advance you the game. So if I play Omnath, I draw a card. If they don't have binding, I have an Omnath, which is a stronger card. But they maybe just cast two bolts on the Eleanor, which is fine, but I don't think. So I was also a bit afraid of getting
Burned out.
Also in the game.
That's why you Solitude the 5-3.
Yeah.
And you were at 15. Yeah, we figured.
Like I have played the Su deck a lot, and the thing is, there are many games where you just double tribal flames your opponent out of the game. So playing the Solitude there was very bad, but
I mean, it was fine.
Yeah.
Another thing, last thing, then we. Why are you playing Fable?
Fable, the deck tends out to float out a lot because you play a lot of lands. You need to play X amount of lands to hit your land draws at the start of the game, especially in the hands where you don't have Ryan 6. But in the late game, you always float out. So you play the Triumphs, you play this. Cycling Triumph was very slow, like 3 mana, draw a card. And then the Fable is a card that you play it, your opponent has to waste 1 card on the token always. Then your opponent has to waste another card on the Tiki Tiki on the back, so it's already 2 for 1, and it solves a lot of your floating. On the, you saw in this game, I just discard 2 lands.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
I think Fable is more or less like a 3 mana brainstorm,
Okay.
and I have been liking a lot the 3 mana brainstorm of Fable because it's always 2 for 1 and a brainstorm. It's a chase that they have to kill and you get a brainstorm. So I like that a lot. I started playing 4 Fables, but then my friend Sam told me that maybe we have to cut 1 for Risen Reef. I don't like that card, but it's true that sometimes playing 3 Eladambris on turn 2, you want to Eladambri to get something to play on turn 3, and if you don't have that 1 of 3 drop like Risen Reef, it you lose you turn 3, and so you only have 7 3 drops and 3 Fables and 4 Teferis, and if you don't play those, your turn 3 is very bad. So you just by playing one of Risen, you go from from 7 3 drops to 11, and that makes that most of your turn 3s are. You do a play that your opponent has to answer most of the times.
Of course.
But I think Risen Reef is not very good. And so it's in the late game, it's great with the pitch elementals, but in the late game, you play it, it's 3 mana, get a land or draw a card, which is also not amazing. And also the best way of using it is like turn 3 and get the land draw. That's the strong.
Yes, of course.
But if you
calling Oracle.
if you don't get the land drop, the card is quite just draw a card for 3 mana, draw 1 card and have a 1/1. Your opponents mostly kill them, and even if your opponents plays Renan 6, the card is so bad. Just okay, I take 1 counter from your Renan 6 and I draw a card. Yeah, and 3 mana for this is not.
Of course. So I would have a ton of questions about the decks, but we can just talk it on Twitter. So can you tell your socials if someone wants to follow you?
Yes, I play more or less Magic professionally. So I stream every day in Togores MTG. Yes, Togores MTG. On Twitch from 1 in the evening to 5, mostly in Spanish, but I answer in every language that's I know I can answer and I know and I play Modern Legacy, and then you can also follow me on Twitter, on YouTube, that's it.
Okay, so thank you for being here and good luck in the tournament.
Yeah, thanks.